I'm just trying to do something to give back to my people. I want the same people that love Tribe Called Quest and Mobb Deep and Nas and Jay-Z first album to hear my shit and be like, dawg, that's some real shit. People always talk about, Kanye, is he really like that? Is he really that arrogant? I just don't like his attitude. When someone comes up and says something like, I am a god, everybody says, who does he think he is? I just told you who I thought I was, a god. That I'm standing up and drawing a line in the sand and saying, I'm here in service to God. When you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all? What I'm saying is, if everyone can say, hey, you can't point out this fact, or we're gonna say you're anti-Semitic and we're gonna call you Hitler by pointing out that they just so happen to all be Jewish. And I don't think that's anti-Semitism. These are all Zionist sacrifices that happen, but this is Satan at the end of the day. There's a lot of people that feel like we're at the end of days, of days, of days, of days.
Yo, what's good everybody? It's your boy Script, back with another one, and today we're diving into the world of Kanye West, or shall I say Ye, breaking down key moments in his career that reveal how he's navigated those infamous doors to success. What are the doors to success, you ask? Well, it's a series on my channel exploring the lives of rap artists, focusing on the darker sides of their rise. Check out this playlist for more videos unpacking this concept. But in a nutshell, DJ Vlad's 2014 interview with rapper Nori laid it bare. Nori explained the rap game in a way that confirmed our suspicions. As artists hit the peak of stardom, they're presented a series of doors, each offering different paths. Door 1, the independent grind, hustling solo against the industry's machine. Door 2, what Nori referred to as the fruity activities, tied to humiliation rituals or compromising moments that make you question one's character. Or Door 3, the heaviest, sacrifice, where rumors swirl about losing someone close to lock in that spotlight. Before we explore the doors Ye has seemingly walked through, let's set the stage with a quick backstory. After all, it's Ye. Who doesn't know him already? Kanye Omari West, now legally known as Ye, was born on June 8, 1997 in Atlanta, Georgia. After his parents' divorce at age 3, he and his mother packed up to Chicago, Illinois, where he was raised in the South Shore neighborhood, a culturally vibrant area that shaped his artistic identity. Ye was an only child, growing up primarily under the care of his mother, Dr. Donda West, an English professor at Chicago State University, and later his manager. His father, Ray West, a former Black Panther and one of the first black photojournalists at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, later became a Christian counselor. This middle-class upbringing, infused with education and social awareness, laid the foundation for Ye's creative and intellectual pursuits. Ye's creativity emerged early. He began writing poetry at 5 and rapping by 3rd grade, showing a knack for the arts. At 10, he lived briefly in Nanjing, China, where his mother taught at a university.
Kanye used to speak Chinese too. What happened to you Chinese? Can you say anything? Ni hao, cai xian. Hello, goodbye.
An experience that broadened his perspective despite his later admission of forgetting much of the language. Back in Chicago, he attended Polaris High School in Oaklawn, where he started producing beats for local artists. His early exposure to Chicago's hip-hop scene, including artists like Common and Twista, influenced his style, blending soulful samples with innovative beats. Ye's passion for music grew alongside his visual art skills, earning him a scholarship to the American Academy of Art in 1997. He briefly studied painting before transferring to Chicago State University to pursue English, but at 20, he dropped out to focus on music, a decision that inspired his debut album, The College Dropout. Ye's entry into music production was catalyzed by his mentor No ID, a Chicago DJ and producer who taught him sampling and beat programming from age 15. By 19, Ye produced 8 tracks for Grav's 1996 album Down to Earth, marking his first official credits. He honed his signature chipmunk soul style using sped-up vocal samples from Soul Records, which became a hallmark of his early work. In 1998, he joined the production company Hip Hop Since 1978 and formed the Go-Getters, a rap group with Chicago natives GLC, Timmy G, Really Doe, and Aerostar, releasing their only album, World Record Holders, in '99. His big break came in '01 when he produced 4 tracks for Jay-Z's The Blueprint, an album widely regarded as a hip-hop classic, elevating his reputation as a producer. Now, transitioning from producer to rapper was challenging. Record executives initially overlooked Ye's rapping ambitions, viewing him as a beatmaker due to his lack of a gangsta persona. Undeterred, he signed to Rockefeller Records and released The College Dropout in 2004, which debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200 and earned critical acclaim for its introspective lyrics and innovative sound. Hits like Slow Jams and Jesus Walks showcase his ability to merge gospel, soul, and hip-hop, diverging from mainstream trends. Ye's early life in Chicago, shaped by his parents' influence, local hip-hop culture, and relentless ambition, propelled him from a young poet to a global icon. His 24 Grammy Awards, 160 million records sold, and cultural impact through music, fashion, and commentary cement his legend status, rooted in those formative South Shore years. Ye has soared to heights most artists can only dream of, but his ascent came with a steep price. Behind the grind of late-night studio sessions or missing family time for tours, we're talking something far darker: the idea of ritual sacrifice. Don't take my word for it, hear it from Ye himself.
I ain't taking no spice from nobody. It's God. That's the only person that I serve. My mama ain't here. My mama was sacrificed. My mama was sacrificed.
By 2007, Ye was unstoppable. With 6 Grammy Awards and a career still climbing, that year he released Graduation, a game changer for hip-hop. The genre was pivoting from gangsta rap's dominance to a fresh wave led by Ye, blending fashion, relationships, and soulful vibes. On September 11th, Ye faced off against 50 Cent, who dropped his 3rd album, Curtis, the same day. When the first week sales hit, Ye dominated, outselling 50 Cent by 266,000 copies. This win solidified Ye as the leader in rap's new era, marking his rise to the top. But this triumph came with a shadow. Despite his soulful Jesus Walks persona, Ye's journey hints at a darker deal: a Faustian bargain with the industry's unseen forces. Check out my Faustian bargain video for a full breakdown of the concept. But in short, it's a pact where someone trades something sacred like values or their soul for power, fame, or riches. These deals are tragic as the cost always outweighs the gain, whether the bargainer sees it or not. On November 10, 2007, Ye's world shattered with the sudden death of his mother, Dr. Donda West, at age 58. Donda, a former English professor and Ye's manager, was his rock, raising him as a single mother in Chicago and inspiring songs like Hey Mama. The day before, she underwent cosmetic surgery, liposuction, a tummy tuck, and a breast reduction, performed by Dr. Jan Adams in Los Angeles. According to Adams, the 5.5-hour procedure went smoothly, and Donda left his office bandaged, but able to walk. Prescribed Vicodin for pain, against Adams' advice to recover in a medical facility, she chose to return home, where she was cared for by her nephew, a registered nurse, and others. The next evening, Donda experienced chest pain, a sore throat, and tightness before collapsing. Friends called 911 suspecting a heart attack, but paramedics couldn't revive her at Centinela Freeman Hospital. A January 2008 coroner's report cited coronary artery disease with 50 to 70% blockages in 2 arteries and multiple post-operative factors as the cause. Complications like bronchopneumonia and tight bandaging, which may have restricted breathing, were noted, alongside therapeutic levels of pain medication, but no overdose. The exact cause remained unclear, with no evidence of surgical or anesthetic errors. Dr. Adams, a high-profile surgeon with TV appearances on Oprah and Discovery Health Show, faced scrutiny. Five months earlier, another surgeon, Dr. Andre Aboulian, had refused to operate on Donda due to her heart condition, insisting on medical clearance she didn't pursue. Adams, not board certified in plastic surgery, had a history of malpractice suits, paying out nearly $500,000 in settlements, and faced license suspension for alcohol-related arrest. He denied wrongdoing, suggesting a heart attack, pulmonary embolism, or painkiller issues, but his practice was devastated and he surrendered his license in 2009. The tragedy led to California's Donda West law in 2010, mandating pre-surgical physical exams. Ye has openly grappled with guilt, telling Q magazine in 2015, quote, "If I had never moved to LA, she'd be alive." His 2021 album Donda and Netflix documentary Genius honor her legacy, but the pain lingers. Was her death a tragic medical mishap or something deeper tied to the industry's cost of fame? The question haunts Ye's story, a stark reminder of what success can demand. Now, looking at the numbers in this case, a few things stand out. Donda West died on a date with 48 numerology, matching both her and her son's names. Despite much of the public's belief that Donda's death was caused by the surgery a day prior, the reports often led with coronary artery disease, which equates to 105, matching her name. Dr. Adams' full name is Jan Rudolgo Adams, which equates to 51, matching the day she died. Keeping in mind this theory that her death was a sacrifice for Kanye's career,
My mama was sacrificed.
it's interesting that she died 121 days after her birthday, when the phrase blood sacrifice equates to 121. As we discussed earlier, this loss in Ye's life seems to have aligned with the concept of a Faustian bargain, a phrase that equals 62 like sacrifice and his full birth name, Kanye Omari West, and the reduction ciphers. 13 years after the passing of Ye's mom, Donda, Ye would release his 10th album dedicated to his late mother, titled Donda. There's a good amount to unpack here that ties to this overarching notion that her death was a sacrifice for his career. For starters, this was his 10th album, dedicated to his mother Donda, who passed away on the 10th of November 2007, and the album released on the 29th of August 21. 29 is the 10th prime number. A lot of 10s as you're noticing, and this is because of the connection that number has to words like God and Satan. It's clear throughout this album and its rollout that Kanye is caught in a spiritual battle, torn between serving two masters while grappling with that deep void left by his mother's absence. A void that lingers even as he tries to enjoy the fruits of his labor. Tracks like Praise God, Heaven and Hell, Lord I Need You, Pure Souls, and Jesus Lord make that inner struggle unmistakable. On Jesus Lord, he talks about his personal battle with drugs and feeling lost without his mother, understandably so. I mean, regardless of how it happens, losing your mother is never going to be an easy process. It led me to the conclusion that Ye chose that all-black album cover to symbolize the emptiness in his spirit without his mother in his life, a reflection of his sense of loss and lack of direction, like he can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. The album released 48 days after what would have been his mother's 72nd birthday. Remember from earlier, both Kanye and Donda West equate to 48 in the same cipher. The album came out 83 days after Ye's 44th birthday, again on the 29th day of the month. Notice mother equates to 83 and 29 in the reverse ciphers. Upon the rollout of this album, Kanye was conducting some strange ritualistic concerts where he would sleep in the stadiums prior to the event and craft quite a unique stage presence. The events were streamed by Apple Music, and many fans, at least the ones that don't just blindly worship his every move, noticed some eerie symbolism throughout the concert. Here you could see Kanye in the center of the stadium, illuminated by a red light surrounded by extras in the formation of a circle with a fiery pit casted above. I've mentioned before how circles are often used within black magic and spellcasting as a way to conjure spirits. With all the imagery surrounding him while in this circle, you can only imagine what types of spirits he's dealing with. Note circle, satanic, rap concert, and brainwashed all equate to 50. I'm convinced for a while now that labels have seen their artists' stage setups more from a perspective of a brainwashing and energy harvesting tool rather than a way of simply showcasing music to the fans. Terms like mind control, spell casting both equate to 137, the 33rd prime number, matching concert in Kanye West. In light of this being some form of a ritual, Kanye simply had a bed, some notes, weights, clothes, and a lit candle in the center with his extras circled around him. This without a doubt was an energy ritual involving spellcasting. Now mind you, this album came off the back of his 9th project, Jesus is King, where he was supposedly all religious. The first stadium show for the rollout of this album was held on July 23, 2021 at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta where he was born. He came out in all red, covering his face. If you've been rocking with me for a while now, you know that the color red signifies a sacrifice. As of recent, Kanye has teased a Donda 2 and potentially 3, but no official releases have been set.
Take all the parts are great, but take a part of the academics speech about me seeing my kids and find it on your laptop. We gotta get Donda 2 out today in the next couple of hours.
Granted, his focus has shifted onto other topics that he seems to be just as passionate about. With this out of the way, let's explore door number 2 and what I found there. Alright, well, this one seems to have come to light as of recent, with Ye releasing a song titled Cousins featuring upcoming meme rapper Dave Blunt, where he goes on to reminisce on a time where he got freaky with his cousin on some. Honestly, the lyrics are so gay, I'd rather leave them on the screen just long enough for you to pause and read them yourself.
That's pretty gay.
But anyway, this song referencing his fruity incest behavior is tied to his latest upcoming album titled Cuck, which really isn't helping bro's case here. It's clear Kanye has fallen victim to the bottomless pit of lust at this stage of his career. From parading his girl around like a GTA stripper to sucking off his cousin, it's getting harder by the day for even his die-hard fans to support him. Notice Kanye West matches with Gay in the 4-base ciphers. Even his current name, Ye, matches in the reduction ciphers. To be fair, this wasn't Kanye's first time being called gay in the headlines. I'm sure most remember the time where South Park trolled him in their episode titled Fish Sticks, where Kanye was called a gay fish, yo. The title of the episode dedicated to trolling him matches his name in the ordinal ciphers. Even the name they trolled him with in the episode matches his name in the reduction ciphers. Also worth mentioning that this episode aired on April 8th, a date written for /8, matching with both Kanye West and Gay in the reverse ciphers. After getting trolled by South Park, years later, we were seeing this weird trend of artists attempting to make skirts quote unquote cool, and in hindsight, it just seems like they were prepping us for the fuckery we see today. But here back in 2012, you can see Kanye is performing in a leather skirt, another sign of a humiliation ritual. Now, coming from me, a guy who runs a channel all about gematria, I'm telling you, you don't always need it to see through the script, no pun intended, because some of this shit is just gay, and there really isn't anything more to it. I mean, of course there is, but I'm just saying you don't need the numbers to decode that stuff. Kanye throughout his career has been nothing short of a showstopper. Whether he's on NBC in 2005 following the events of Hurricane Katrina, going completely off script,
George Bush doesn't care about black people,
to cutting Taylor Swift off to glaze Beyonce during the 2009 MTV Video Awards.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
His antics sometimes get the best of him, whether for better or worse. He's been seen ranting on stages all across the world about his disputes with industry execs, his fellow peers such as Jay-Z and Beyonce, at one point during his 2016 St. Pablo tour, telling the audience,
I've been sitting here to give y'all the truth. Jay-Z called me, bro. You still ain't called me. Jay-Z called me. Hey, bro, Jay-Z, I know you got killers. Please don't send them at my head. Just call me.
We've seen Kanye go from a conscious pro-black artist
George Bush doesn't care about black people,
to considering slavery was a choice.
When you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice.
To doing a complete 180 and diving into his faith, then attempt to run for presidency, even holding a makeshift rally in 2020 where he would end up breaking down on stage, then a year later performing rituals on stage in dedication to his late mother. I mean, much like the themes of Kanye's album, you never really know what you're going to get next. I think the notion of separating the art from the artist is getting tougher and tougher by the day for Ye fans, and his recent actions don't seem to help. Despite being a religious man, we've heard Kanye refer to himself as a god, but during these same times, he's also come out exposing the sinister actions of Jewish label executives, although sometimes he might have taken it a bit too far. Whether he's on Alex Jones' show praising Hitler,
I see good things about Hitler also. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler. How about that one?
to recently wearing an iced out swastika chain. Of course, that is extremely controversial, but I'll be honest, his reasoning behind it was kind of interesting.
It's facts! It's facts! It's not facts. These ices are not facts.
But if
Sure, Kanye's mental state is up for debate, but as they say, even a broken clock is right twice a day. In this rant from 2023, Kanye went on to say,
God runs the world. Then under that, you got 1,000-year-old families, Medici. Under that, you have the Vatican, the Pope. Under that, you have the financial groups that control all your shit. BlackRock, Vanguard. After that, you have Putin. You have Trump. You have all this shit. And after that, you got what all this shit is. Entertainment. Hollywood. America just the latest bitch that been ran through so many times. The Greeks hit her. Mansa Musa hit her. We had her. The Indians and shit. The motherfucking pilgrims. It's the Jewish niggas. They dress the same, nigga. It's the same shit. That's the story. They put us in the school. The Rothschilds. I know Jay-Z back here like, oh, this nigga going down now. I've been here for a year, my nigga. They can't fucking touch me. Why? Because God covered me. He covered me. And guess what, Trump? We ain't giving you support unless you get Larry out. Unless you get Jeff out. You understand what I'm saying? Because y'all niggas, y'all politicians think y'all gonna just get our shit for free. All of a sudden, nigga, because you got...
year before that, surrounded by paparazzi and press, he was asked about his anti-Semitic views, claiming Jewish executives were teaming up against him to destroy his career.
The red are the executives that are Jewish at these companies.
Do you think they stuck together when they heard what you said? Was that what happened?
Well, what I said is, hey, you know, I've had experiences where it felt like I was being teamed up on, and I didn't realize that that term would be considered to be anti-Semitic, so I had to...
Mind you, since the release of Donda in 2021, Ye has no longer been affiliated with Def Jam Recordings, signifying that he's taken the independent route, which is one of the 3 doors to success. As of now, he's still got one of the greatest impacts on hip-hop and a fan base willing to consume or purchase literally anything he releases. Whether it lives up to fans' initial hype doesn't seem to be his concerns. It's almost as if he knows they'll end up just convincing themselves they like it. My 2 cents is that Kanye is going crazy, but not the way the media wants you to think, more spiritually crazy. Yes, at times he might display signs of a person going through their spiritual healing phase, and the next day he's indulging in one of the 7 deadly sins. I'm not trying to be on a moral high horse, as all men and women fall victim to our own vices, but when you're as rich and influential as Ye, all the worldly temptations are at your fingertips, and that can get overwhelming very fast, and Ye has been living the high life for decades at this point, experiencing quite a roller coaster throughout. Look, I think deep down, many, even those in this community, would like to believe that Ye is truly fighting the good fight in effort to expose the wickedness behind the scenes. and in some cases that might be true. But it's also important to watch one's actions, and time again, Ye seems to be serving both the dark and the light. I personally wouldn't bank on this man being the industry's savior, as he's clearly having his own internal battles and is yet to win. Instead, I think fans should avoid investing emotionally into their favorite artists' personal lives and instead just enjoy the music. Clearly though, for some, it's easier said than done. Let me put it plainly, if a young man or woman were to look at someone like Ye for guidance through life, which granted is a bit extreme, or even just hold him in such high regard that they tried to follow his path, it probably wouldn't lead them to the pearly gates. That's all I'm saying. Constantly walking on this fine line is clearly affecting him in many ways. And at 47 years old, he's still active as can be, tweeting almost daily incoherent rants, to now apparently delving into the world of streaming. It seems he can't find the true peace he's looking for and will continue to fill the voids and dive deeper into the bottomless pit that is fame. Will Ye eventually put the industry in their place, or will it sadly be the other way around? As always, time will tell. Now, if you're curious to see how the independent route could pan out for artists that choose to go that way, check out my recent video on rapper Tory Lanez. But anyways, y'all, that's all I got for now. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to do your boy a favor and hit that like button. It really helps get these videos out in the algorithm. Drop your comments down below and tell me what you guys think about Ye and his lengthy career. Share the video, and most importantly, subscribe, man. It's been your boy Script, and I'm out of here. Peace.